Reddit, what's something your family doesn't know about you? I just get in my car and drive. I never really have a destination. I just need to leave. I've done it ever since I had access to cars. My mom will ask why I have a sleeping bag in my car, and I'll just lie because I don't want the hassle. Edit, I know this is a do what I say and not what I do situation, but if you do this or want to do this, please tell someone. Stay in some sort of contact. I don't like cheese. Seriously, Mom, you have the memory of a goldfish. I'm 18 and I bought my first scratch off and won $10,000. I put it in savings and parents don't know I have it. The week after graduation from high school, I tried to hang myself in the basement, but the rope broke. I wasn't going to college and I didn't see a bright future ahead. That was 5 years ago as of this past Friday. Right now, the world seems very dark still, but I'm trying hard and I'm fighting every day to keep moving forward. I'm studying graphic design every day, haven't touched games for months, yet they think I'm playing video games when I'm working on my computer. Dad, I'm not actually that incompetent. You breathing down my neck when I'm cooking/driving freaks me out. Also, I haven't been a virgin for years. Where I live, what my phone number is, or whether I am even alive. I'm actually so sad there's no story for this, but I imagine some serious crap must have went down in order for that to happen. That I'm infertile. They are waiting for babies, but they won't be coming. Hey, same here, guy, but I told my parents almost immediately, and they were very supportive. Tough break. Good luck on your journey, and hope you have someone you can talk to. Feel free to vent if you ever need to. I got suspended from school because I used to skip lessons all the time. Weirdest punishment ever. My mom knew and didn't want to tell my dad as she knew he'd be disappointed, so she told me to work hard and get back on track. My dad left for work earlier than I went to school and got home after school finished, so I would just lie and pretend I was at school all day. I'm nearly 30 now and he still doesn't know. I faked a job offer so I could move to another city that is 3,000 miles from them. The reason I faked the job offer is because I still want to maintain a relationship with my family regardless of how controlling and oppressive they are. I got an actual interview, did everything, but was not chosen. Instead of telling them that, I made fake contracts, an offer letter, and I showed it to them. Since the documents are in English and my parents can't understand, they just ask me questions and things, so lying is much easier. I just pack my suitcase, live off couch surfing, work a temp job for money and food for a while. It's hard, very tiring and financially unstable at first, but now I have a job, peace, and much more confidence in voicing my opinions and feelings. I am also slowly mending my relationship with my parents. Soon. That I'm a retired multimillionaire at 39 years old. They just think I'm a freelancer who travels a lot. It's for the best, I think. I hate my sister. She is self-absorbed and attention-seeking. She starts conflicts and is proud for standing up for herself. Girl, you wouldn't be in that situation if you didn't start it. She's always the victim. My parents' sister and brother walked on eggshells around her just so she wouldn't flip out. I did for the longest time until I got tired of her. I was labeled the jerk for setting her off. Edit, my sister has seen several different therapists and has not been diagnosed as bipolar or with a personality disorder. She has had one therapist tell her to go elsewhere because she is too confrontational. Me saying that I was labeled the jerk was more of the way I felt. Nobody actually called me the jerk. I was the one that was told to bite my tongue. That I'm badly depressed all the time, except when I visit them. Going back home is just so comforting, and to know that it's always my home, no matter where I am. I seriously dread the day I lose this. It's one of my biggest fears. It can help to open up about it, especially with those you love and feel comfortable around. A year ago, I was drowning in debt, and my depression had sunken to the lowest it had ever been. The only thing I could feel was a general numbness, and every other thought was about ending my life. I was seriously considering going off into the desert and doing it. I was too proud to tell anyone my problems, and I didn't want to burden anyone, so I kept it to myself. My dad picked up on some of my issues and offered to have me come home and live there while he pays for a bankruptcy for me and to get my head straight. I wasn't going to do it because of my before-mentioned pride, but I was considering ending my life instead. It struck me how dumb that was at work the next day, where I broke down in tears and quit. I called my dad the same day and told him I wanted help. He flew out and helped me move back across the country and did everything he promised he would. I have no doubt in my mind that I would be dead right now if I didn't get that help from my family. My advice: don't let it simmer that long. Reach out for the help that is likely to be right there for you. It sounds like they would understand, and if not understand, at least offer you help. Don't fight that pit of numb darkness on your own. Let those you love and trust help support you. It makes a world of difference, even if it doesn't quite feel like it at the time. I understand Ukrainian, and I know they talk about how I should have been aborted or given away. I have a huge tattoo on my forearm that I've had for the last 10 years. I'm currently getting it removed with the laser, but I've been using long sleeves whenever I get together with the family. My family is extremely conservative. Freaking annoying in the summer. That I'm a millionaire. I'm super frugal and don't show it. But every time I make a big purchase, they raise an eyebrow. Hey, you don't need to keep it a secret that you're subscribed to Am I the Genius or Am I the Jerk, linked in the description below. They're both worth subscribing to, so go ahead. And remember to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. I used to have a crippling opiate addiction and contemplated ending my life numerous times, but was able to detox and get myself clean cold turkey all without them even knowing I had the problem. I've since had a conversation with my dad about it. He thought I had just decided to move away from my home because of a better job, when in reality, it was to separate myself from all of my old connects. I actually took a pay cut at the new job. Anywho, 2 years later, I'm doing better than ever. However, I have stayed out of town for obvious reasons. Edit: I wasn't going to edit this because of the cliche thanks for the gold stranger edits I see all day, but there are too many to reply to individually. Those of you congratulating me, thank you. Those of you struggling with the problem yourselves, please find someone to talk to. Heck, message me and I'll help with as much advice as I can. Also, I didn't do it 100% on my own. I had my wife and my young children with me as well to motivate me. I can't recommend Kratom enough for people either. At the time I was kicking opiates, Arkansas banned Kratom sales, so I wasn't able to get it, but a few months down the road when I finally went to a different state altogether for a way better job, Kratom is what helped me say no to people that had H or pills. It also helped my father-in-law get off of a long-time pain management script that was destroying his body. They don't know that I'm their least favorite child. They also don't know just how much their opinion of me still matters to me. I've kept a diary for the last 23 years, including a great deal of detail about them, both good and bad. Some very bad, bordering on criminal. My sister is the executrix of my will. Should be interesting after I die. I love them more than I show them. I can't show love to anyone in my family for some reason. They probably think I don't care about them, but I do, and one day, I'll tell them. Edit: thanks to everybody who gave me their advice or just took their time to talk about their lives and experiences. I won't respond to everyone because of limited time, but I truly appreciate all of your comments. I, male 20, come from a family of 4, 3 sisters, 13, 26, 28. I never could show any affection to them for some reason. I never in my life told my parents or sisters that I love them, except for my little sister. I will definitely change that as soon as I finish work today. Life is not guaranteed, and I want to open myself to them before it's too late. Thank you again, everybody. That means a lot to me. If I have anything to say to repay the favor you did to me, you all should start or continue being true to you. Being genuine is the best thing you can do to improve your life. Love y'all. Cheesiness aside, it really is a shame that men aren't allowed to express affection. The rules of society basically dictate that if you're a man who shows affection, you're seen as weak or vulnerable. And it's not just affection either. It's emotions in general. In reality, most men don't know how to deal with, recognize, or regulate their emotions, and that's partly because of the stigma. It's seen as emasculating or feminizing, which the perception of femininity as negative is a problem in and of itself, but that's another conversation. In short, if you as a man keep all of your emotions locked away, they're going to either get bottled up and explode or be lost entirely when you need them the most. That I crashed a car on purpose to get out of work 3 years ago. Being bullied at work and couldn't face going back. So I crashed my car, slowly, into a tree so I could have several months off while I recovered. Didn't do it to hurt myself or end my life. I have severe anxiety, and work made it 1,000 times worse. Yes, I know it was stupid, and yes, I know I could have done a million other things, but I needed a way out instantly. Edit. Didn't claim on insurance, but got full sick pay for 6 months, and on the day it ran out, I quit. Also, went to psychotherapy as I was a tad worried I would do it again in the future, for diagnosed with Asperger's and severe anxiety. This was the UK, so no health insurance. It's government/tax funded, so it wasn't fraud. I did feel guilty I wasted NHS's time, but not anything else. Wanted to share a positive story. I am getting married in October. After my grandmother and my mother and father died, I separated myself from my cousins, aunts, uncles, surviving grandparents because our family was so toxic. In that 4 years, I fell in love, developed a new family, and have been quite successful. You never know who is dragging you down. And before anyone asks, I made multiple attempts to rekindle relationships with my family, but it's a two-way street that no one else was driving on apparently. My parents divorced in 2000, but were on and off after that. My mom and dad died 3 years apart, and because of his drunken ways and random knocks on the door, I was relieved, and I wasn't invited to the funeral or included in the obituary. I still have a little darkness from it, but there is so much light now that it drowns it out pretty well. I still have moments with my fiance when I'll get upset because something triggers me, but we talk about it and move on. I have garnered a pretty big following as a fanfic writer, and thus writing fanfic is actually the most successful thing I have accomplished in my life thus far. Edit, holy crabola guys, this just blew up in my face. Wow, this is what it feels like when you accidentally write a popular fanfiction. What just happened? Well, I'm going to try to address some frequently asked questions and state some things here. First off, so many soulmates, so many fellow fanfic writers. Hello there, hey! I have no one specific fandom, though the popular fanfic I am talking about is a fanfic called Second Chance, A New Choice, which is a Harry Potter fic posted 10 years ago and is still getting daily favorites to this day. I don't know why, don't ask me. Due to the popularity of the thing, I've even teamed up with the real editor and is currently reworking the entire thing. My fanfiction account is called Moonbird, which is my 10-year-old account where I just post any old crap. My archive of our own account is called Moonybird. It is pretty new, and I only post stuff there which I myself consider my best works. Yes, I have started to write stuff that isn't fanfiction. I am, however, very happy and grateful for my time as a fanfic writer, and it has taught me so much when it comes to writing in general, and I still write fanfiction. Heck, I'm in the middle of writing a Loki-centered MCU fanfic. No, I don't earn money on it. Not a single dime. I do it for fun. It's my hobby. That most of them are just people to me. I don't feel any obligation to love them, but a bunch of them are fun to be around, and I consider them friends. Love is too strong a word though. I feel far stronger attachments to my friends, who I've nurtured relationships with for decades because we have lots of things in common that aren't as arbitrary or invisible as DNA. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree here, at least to the extent that it feels like an obligation. Every single family event I've had, it just feels like that I'm there because I have to be. And it's not because I really want anybody to be there. Like, don't get me wrong, I still love my family and I wouldn't just leave them, but I hardly find myself making new memories with them. That's why I value my friendships online so much. They just feel closer and I feel like I know them more than my family. And for that matter, my friends know me more than my own family does. I'm not lazy. I'm just severely depressed and have PTSD that makes my everyday life a struggle. I try to behave and do as I'm told, but half the time, I don't even see a point in staying alive. I'm sorry I'm not the perfect child you wanted me to be. How much debt I'm in. My mom probably has an idea, but student loans aren't a joke. I'm going to school for cyber forensics and will be graduating this year. However, I have only recently realized that, while I am good at networking and technology, my 2 years actually working in the field has shown me that it does not make me happy whatsoever, and it actually makes me miserable. I'm an expert in IT, networking, and security. However, I hate doing it. I've realized recently that acting is what makes me happy, and I want to pursue that despite being deep in debt for a major in cyber forensics. Back when I was in high school, I did several background acting jobs for movies and commercials, and this summer have gotten back into it, and recently just did a background acting job for an upcoming Netflix series releasing next year, and it's made me realize that that is what makes me happy and gives me personal satisfaction. Acting. You do something new every single day. You meet new people and make new connections and friends every single day, and you get to be part of something amazing, and I can see myself making a living off of acting. My family doesn't know that my major and job experience and what I am skilled in actually makes me miserable, and doing something as stupid as acting, even if it's just background acting and acting in student films, makes me happy, and that I regret not going to school for film. But once I am graduated, I am going to keep pursuing acting jobs and see where it lands me. Even things as small as background acting makes me so happy, and I love it. My mom thinks that after I graduate that I plan on going for my master's in this field, but I know that it'll only give me more debt for something that I have absolutely no interest anymore in getting to. I don't know how to tell her that I decided not to go for my master's. TLDR, the field I am majoring in and have years of experience in makes me miserable, and I want to throw it all away for acting. My entire family is proud of me for going into a major that makes a ton of money and that I've built a successful career already in said field, but it's made me miserable. Money is awesome, but at what cost when you're miserable every day? They don't know the actual amount of difficulties that I had going through my life with undiagnosed ADHD. I got diagnosed at 28 after having essentially my third mental breakdown because of the huge amount of pressure and disgust I put onto myself for failing to do even the simplest things. I told my parents and they were devastated, not because I had ADHD, but because they never knew or suspected. And honestly, looking from the outside, it was impossible to see. I was valedictorian, graduated college magna cum laude, participated in tons of activities, seemed to have friends, etc. But I was so broken and only did those things because of deep shame that resulted in an almost attempt at my own life that my body saved me from. It's hard to allow yourself to die from exposure. I was hoping to make it look like an accident, but after my body said, nope, not gonna happen, I realized I really needed professional help. I'm doing much better now, but I know my parents wouldn't handle that well. I cried every night for years. I'm 21 and never had a date or any kind of romantic contact to a girl. Everybody thinks I'm a super funny and confident person, but they don't know that I suffer. Well, that actually changed some weeks ago. I met a girl and had my first kiss, and I'm going on a date next Saturday. That the divorce I'm going through is a lot harder on me than I'm letting on. I wanted the divorce. No one in my family liked my ex, and they are happy I'm getting away. But the divorce has been dragging on for 2 years now and is really taking its toll on me. The first year things were fine and my family saw that I was a lot happier. But it is dragging on to the second year because my ex is refusing to cooperate and is trying to manipulate the system. I am at risk at losing time with my kids and losing half of my life savings and having to pay 50% of my paycheck in child support for the next 15 years. Note, my ex makes more than me, which is the most frustrating part. She has no problem supporting herself. She talks crap about me to my kids, but I am trying to take the high road and ignore it. It is depressing realizing I have to deal with her for 15 plus years. A big reason my family doesn't know I'm struggling is because they haven't been there for me. My mom has had some health issues and can't travel. My dad was supposed to come out for Father's Day, but changed his plans. Because my daughter had a recital on Father's Day, I had to spend time with my ex's family on Father's Day. I live close to my brother, but he makes no effort to plan events with my kids. We were even supposed to have a joint birthday party for our kids because they're a couple weeks apart, and he straight up forgot, promised to quote, make up for it, but has not reached out since. I made Dean's List for my last semester in college. I'm super proud of it, but I found it out when we were celebrating my little sister's graduation, and I didn't want to take it away from her. I also didn't want to feel like I was rubbing it in my twin's face. She apparently feels threatened that I graduated a year early, even though she's always been much more academically successful than me. Back when I was 24, I took about $300 in cash with me to a trip to Vegas with my grandma. She is well off and didn't want to go alone. She has a timeshare with the company that lets her pick and choose where she would like to go for 3 weeks each year. Her friend backed out due to illness and she decided to invite me. We have a wonderful relationship, but when it comes to money, we don't really discuss it. Way too long a story. One night, I tell her I'd just like to go wander the strip alone. She's fine with this as I come off a bit intimidating. 6 foot, 235 pounds at the time, long hair, kind of a biker/metalhead vibe. I ended up at the Luxor playing Texas Hold'em. I went from $250 to $30,000 in about 4 hours of play across 4 different tables. I invested that money in the stock market, and if I cashed out said stocks right now, I would have about $2.4 million. No one in my family has a clue. I live extremely humble. For some reason, I feel like they would all come at me for loans and such. I just don't want to deal with that. Thank you for listening to these stories. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing.